Good day, everyone. Our topic today is all about collaboration in the classroom through ICT. Collaboration in the classroom through ICT learning and the generation is not about individualism. So, hindi lang tayo natututo sa sarili natin kung hindi natututo din tayo sa iba through collaboration or interaction. Through collaboration ay napapadali yung communication between teachers and students, especially this 21st century, like for example, the online discussion platforms, the Google Classroom na nagkakaroon ng collaboration. Example, Google Meet kung saan tayo nagkakaroon ng learning. Mahalaga ang technology as a student para mas madali yung collaboration ng student at teachers. Katulad nung nagkaroon ng virus or COVID-19 na nakakatulong ang technology sa student and teachers. Do you remember during COVID-19 or pandemic, diba? Gamit natin is technology kasi pandemic that time, bawal tayo mag face-to-face. So, sa paraan ng technology, which is nakapag-aral din tayo. Next is computer-supported collaboration learning. It is important, especially nowadays, kasi nakakatulong ito sa students katulad ng pag-computer or iba pang technology para mapadali yung collaborative learning. Isa sa mga computer ang tumutulong sa atin na makipag-communicate at makipag-collaborative sa iba. Which is, hindi lang cellphone ang pwede natin gamitin kung hindi computer din. Next is, collaboration is one of the essential ingredients to fostering 21st century skills and deeper learning in the classroom. Which is, nagkakaroon ng engagement ang estudyante through collaboration kasi nagkakaroon ng brainstorming or knowledge ang mga bata katulad natin. Through collaboration is napapalawak yung learning natin at nagde-development yung mga skills natin through ICT or through collaboration to others. Next is tools for collaborative learning. Number 1 is idea generation and brainstorming. Number 2 is online group work and collaboration. Lastly is online communication. Idea generation and brainstorming is through collaboration, which is dyan na magsisimula yung mag-brainstorming kayo ng mga kasama mo. Halimbawa is gagawa kayo ng project. So, syempre, pag-iisipan nyo muna kung ano yung una nyong gagawin sa project na yon. Which is, first is mag-brainstorming muna kayong lahat. Second is online group work and collaboration. Through online is pwede pa rin kayo mag-collaborative or collaboration through online. Kasi pwede naman natin gamitin yung Facebook or Messenger para makapag-video call kayo about sa project nyo or task. So, nakakatulong talaga ang technology when it comes sa paggawa ng project. So, hindi na tayo makakarason na ganito-ganyan dahil may technology naman at pwede tayo makipag-communicate. Hindi na kailangan na pumunta pa tayo sa bahay ng kaklase natin dahil pwede naman natin sila i-chat, diba? Through technology, so pwede kayo doon mag-usap about sa project na gagawin ninyo. Nextly is online communication. So, when it comes sa online communication, maraming online na pwede tayo makipag-communicate sa iba. Sa panahon ngayon, ang daming apps na pwede tayo makipag-communicate. Pwedeng Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, or TikTok. So, pwede tayo makipag-communicate chance. So, and especially sa Google Meet or basta maraming online platforms na ginagamitan natin to communicate. which is hindi lang cellphone ang pwede natin gamitin, or pwede rin tayo pumunta sa computer shop para makipag-communicate. Next is project-based multimedia learning as a collaborative activity. So, through technology, so pwede kayong gumawa ng activity and projects gamit ang ICT. Or example is kung may laptop kayo or computer, cellphone, so pwede yun. When it comes sa multimedia, so pwede tayong manood sa YouTube or anything else na makukuha natin ng learning. Next is project-based learning or PBL. It is a effective way lalo na sa pagtuturo sa mga estudyante para mag-develop ang critical thinking or skills ng estudyante. Katulad ng mga project like scientific experiment, ito yung pinag-aaralan ang climate change. So, we have 3 characteristics of PBL or project-based learning. Number 1 is interdisciplinary. Number 2, rigorous. Lastly is student-centered. Ang interdisciplinary ay pinapakita dito kung gaano kahalaga ang pagtutulungan or pag-collaboration, especially as a student, para mas madali na masolve yung project. Like for example, the sustainable community design, pinag-aaralan dito kung paano mag-design or kung paano mapaganda ang design. Next one is rigorous. So, dito na yung mga bata na na-engage sila sa paggawa ng project, which is ginagamit nila yung mga critical thinking. Gamitan ng problem solving skills. So, nagiging challenge talaga yung mga bata dahil sa project or pagbibigay ng project ng isang teacher. So, sila mismo ang gagawa ng project at sila mismo ang mag-create, mag-iisip kung ano yung gagawin nila sa project nila. Lastly is student-centered. So, estudyante lang yung gagawa ng project without support ng instructor or teachers. Kumbaga, magiging independent na yung bata sa paggawa ng project. Kaya na niya gumawa ng project at kaya na niya rin ito ipaliwanag sa harapan without support ng teachers. Student ang magdidesisyon at magtatrabaho sa project na ibibigay ng teacher. Example is sa pagdidemo. So, diba, only student lang ang nagsasalita sa harapan at nagtuturo sa harapan, which is mag-o-observe lang ang teachers. Yun ang tinatawag na student-centered. So, yun lang. Thank you for watching.